So hello and welcome along to Christchurch Escapes podcast, Locked In With. My name's Ash Gibson. In each one of these episodes, we're going to be chatting to either somebody we know that knocks around our church, or we might not know so well, to get some insight into their life, particularly within the context of lockdown, which we've all come to either love or hate or whatever over the last few months. Today, it's my great pleasure to be locked in with Tobi Sho-Silva. Right off the cuff, that is one of the coolest names. Genuinely. So Tobi is a professional footballer, which is really awesome. We're really thankful that he's able to join us. I always think that it must be helpful to have a name as cool as that when it comes to making it as a footballer. Have you ever thought about that? Because it does look Tobi Sho-Silva. That's top draw, by the way.
Yeah, I've actually never thought about it, but people always come up to me and say, "You've got a footballer's surname," and then they say, "I don't believe that's your surname. Did you make it up?" And I'm just like, "No, it really is my surname."
Well, it is really cool. I think it's I would describe it as a head start. Do you know what I mean? I would say that gives you a couple of notches up. You know, even if you're the scout that's looking on, is this guy good? What's his name? Tobi Sho-Silva. Yeah, he's got a chance. I reckon that puts you up a notch anyway. So we're going to ask you a bunch of questions, Tobi. So we'll kick off with have you got 5 words that might help us understand you? 5 words that describe you.
Yeah, 5 words. I'd say the first one is relaxed. I'm pretty chilled.
I'm feeling that. Yeah.
Pretty chilled. I'm quite ambitious. I really just want to see potential in myself or in anything that's taking place. I'd say during that, I'm quite fun. Really like to enjoy myself. I would call myself a student because I feel like I'm always learning.
Right, that's a good word.
And always just kind of through experiences or through people or conversations. And then I'd say I care as well. I just care about people, care about different projects, cool. Care about different things. So I'd say that would be my 5. Relaxed, very ambitious, good. Fun, student, and caring.
Very good. Have you always been ambitious? Has this been a recent thing, or can you remember back to being a kid and thinking, actually, if I think back to 5-year-old Tobi, he was pretty ambitious even then? And were you a student back then as well? How long have these 5 words applied to you?
I feel like they've always applied to me from a young age. I can probably pinpoint when this maybe ambition started. I'm quite competitive and I've got an older brother. So just anything we did, I just want to win. I really just want to win.
So that's been there for a while.
Yeah, it's been there for a while. Yeah. And over time, it's just taken different shapes and different forms. But I really like to see maximized potential in anything and anyone. So that's really where my heart is. Okay,
cool. That's interesting that relaxed comes together with ambitious. And when you say those two things, you think, can they come together? But then looking at you, I'm like, yep, that seems to work out. So in one sentence, could you describe for us how you came to be where you are? Right. This might not be possible.
Yeah.
So the question is, in one sentence, can you explain to us how you came to be where you are right now? You might need a couple of sentences, or you might have it nailed down. But just give us that.
I'll try and nail it down in one, and then maybe go into a little bit more detail. In one sentence, I'd say where I am right now, learning from experiences and bouncing back from setbacks, all while clinging on to Jesus.
Oh, nice.
That's what I'd say. Learning from experiences and bouncing back from setbacks, all while clinging on to Jesus. I think I've really been shaped by my experiences and the different things that I've gone through in life or in football. I'll definitely say a lot of my life education and things that I know about life is through football and journeying through football, meeting different people, going through different experiences, experiencing different pressures. And in football, there are quite a lot of setbacks as well. Whether it's injury or being released or losing a friend or all of these different things, but learning through all of that and bouncing back through all of that while Jesus being at the center of it. And Jesus hasn't always been at the center of my life, but since Jesus has been at the center of my life, it's just really been trusting him through the process of everything that goes on, because he's in control. So
Because you've been around a bit, right? I've had a little look at your resume. You've been up north, up to the top end of Scotland, right?
Yeah.
Played footy down. I'm guessing it's the footy started in London. Is that right?
Yeah, started in London. Started in Sunday League in Southeast London. Played there for a few years, and then got scouted when I was younger for Charlton, and I came through the academy there. Got a professional contract there as well. So I was at Charlton for a good 10 years.
So how old were you when the first person put their hand on your shoulder and was like, "Yeah, you're pretty good. We'd like you to come and play for us." Can you remember that? That must have been pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I think I was about 11. It was 11 when I first got scouted and got a bit more attention for my football. And I just started playing for fun. I started playing because my brother played, and I wanted to be like my older brother. And from there, just worked hard and seemed to be better than I thought. So,
and are you better than him now?
See, this question always comes up, and we played separate positions. So
is he still playing? Is he?
Yeah, he's still playing. He was last at St Albans, so he plays centre back, and I play centre forward. So it'd be fireworks if we ever played against each other.
Has it happened? Have you played?
Hasn't happened yet. No, I'm still keeping that in my prayers for one day.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, can you give us in one sentence how you came to be at Bridge Street Church?
Yes. So when I moved up from London to Leeds to play for Halifax, one of my friends messaged me. I was just talking to him, and he said, "There's a church up here called Bridge Community Church. It's part of the Elam branch." And he said he's visited it before, and I said, "Okay, cool. I'll try it out." Didn't know anyone there. Just turned up one Sunday, and ever since then, it's just been home. Really built a strong community there, and they've supported me while I've been away from London, and while I've been up here in Leeds. So it's been a real blessing to be able to be there.
So you're up here. You got no family up here, is that right?
No, yeah, no family up here
except for the church family. So that's been nice that's worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're in lockdown, and I don't know how that's been for you as a footballer. We'll find out. I want you to imagine a world. This might be a strange concept. Certainly, if I had have asked you this a couple of months ago, imagine a world where a disease comes along that's so contagious, that's so nasty, and spreads so quickly. Everybody's got to stay at home for months. So that's the premise. All right, Toby. So you've got to have that in the back of your mind, and it is how it is. So who are you in lockdown with? Who are you on your own in a house somewhere, or have you got anyone to talk to? Is
this ideal, or is this?
No, this is reality. This is
reality.
Yeah, this is who've you got to spend all that time with? Or who's going to spend all that time with you?
With me. I'm in lockdown with my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, trying not to get on their nerves by playing pranks and different things like that. So
right, okay.
That's who I'm with.
And is that working? Has it boiled over?
No, it's boiled over a couple times. Mainly due to people not taking responsibility for what they need to take responsibility for, or me just playing a prank that goes a bit too far.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's nowhere to go with the pranks.
No.
and because you're there for so long, the pranks are too tempting, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too tempting to do.
Too tempting.
So you're the prankster.
Yeah.
And sometimes everyone's laughed along with that and gone, "Oh, that's Toby, that's funny." And then sometimes your family have gone, "Hang on, that's too much."
Yeah.
At this moment. Right,
yeah,
okay.
that's too much.
I think fair play. You've got to have a giggle. You've got to try.
You have to, yeah.
And make it fun. All right. So you're in there with your family, and Amazon can bring you one more delivery. So this is, and it can be anything. But let's just say you've got one. You're in lockdown for who knows how long. Could be for another year. Could be. And you're stuck in with your family for the rest of that time. You've got one more delivery that can come to your door. What do you order?
obviously the common answer, which probably comes to my head, is 10 more deliveries if possible.
Well, that's the cheat. That's the cheat answer.
That's a cheat answer, obviously.
I'm not going to let you have that.
Okay, cool.
That's like Aladdin asking for 3 more wishes, isn't it? Yeah, you don't get that, Toby.
We don't get
Not
that.
even as a professional footballer, you don't get that. You get one item that you can get. Yeah.
I think just a comfier bed for me, because I love sleep. So if I could get a comfier bed, that's probably the comfiest bed that Amazon could provide. That's what I'd bring, because I spend a lot of time in bed, just chilling. So
I'm gonna be honest, I was thinking he's gonna give me a really good coffee machine, or he's gonna go for outdoor swimming pool or something like that. You look like you could enjoy a little bit of the high life, but you've gone for pretty standard comfy bed because you like to relax. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's a strong answer. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So, do you like music?
Yes, I like music.
Has there been one song, and we can share this in the comments, but has there been a song that has really kept you going through lockdown, or has there been a song that's just ended up on your playlist more than anything else?
Yeah, there's a song one of my friends sent it over to me. I hadn't heard of it before. It's called Psalms 23. I Am Not Alone, by People and Songs. I Am Not Alone. Yeah, by People and Songs. Okay. Psalms 23.
Why is that?
It just speaks about God's comfort and God just being there with you, regardless of whatever's going on. It speaks about how you can just trust Him and how He's always there. And I feel like sometimes you can feel like He's not there, but that song really reassures me that He knows, He sees, He cares, and He's there for you to really just fellowship with Him wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I think that's just a beautiful thing, to know that the God who created the heavens and the earth also cares about you and the little details of your life and how you're feeling. So yeah. that's been a good song that's really comforted me.
That's brilliant, man. It's a good, and with a song as well, sometimes you can have the music on, and so what you've described, there's a really deep thing. You know, that reminder that God's always with us and always hanging around, and you can just think, oh, I'm just listening to music in this moment, and then it's just a tune in my head, and I'm just wandering around or whatever. But actually, some of the, almost subconsciously, some of the great truths that are sort of drifting into your head as I don't know, I'm imagining that you have to go for lots of runs. Yeah. You've got your music on, or you're on your commute into Halifax Town, whatever else it is, and those moments of realization, they can be really, music can really shift you, can't it? Yeah. I think it can anyway.
Yeah, it's had a massive just, I love music. I feel like it just sets the atmosphere. Just really sets your mind on the things that you want to focus on. So yeah, I love music.
Yeah, I want to ask you just one off the wall question. So you're involved at Halifax Town. That's where you're playing at the moment. That's your club.
Yeah.
Have they got a song that they sing that you can share with us? Have they got a song that they sing about you? Do you get Toby give us a goal, anything like that?
One song that's kind of followed me anywhere I've gone, and some fans like to use it, is Hi Ho Silver Lining.
Oh yes, that's made for you.
Yeah, that's a song that always comes to mind if there's ever a song.
And so what do you get involved with down at Halifax, Toby? How does your faith work out down there? Do you talk to people about that? Is there other footballers that are Christians?
It's quite an interesting one, because I started off playing football not in the faith, and in the recent years, in the last 6 years, I've come to know Jesus, and I really see the football field as my mission field, where to be a light and where to share the gospel, and I really try and live it as much as I can, in terms of just loving on the boys, just being there, and kind of just talking about how they're doing, and if there's any questions that pop up about faith, I'm really happy to share it. I normally just get alongside boys in their day to day, and then just offer them if they want to pray or hear about the faith. And I've had some really, really good conversations with some of my teammates about Jesus and about the gospel, which has been really good. There's another Christian on my team, and we pray before games on the pitch. Every game, just to really dedicate it to the Lord. And my assistant manager is also a believer as well. So we've had some really good conversations about Jesus and the gospel and the word of God. So it's really a mission field. I see it as it's just a privilege to be able to play football for the Lord.
That's a really cool way to look at it. Okay, and does it help you out any? I guess the prayer before the game, that gives you a good perspective on stuff. Is it, do you feel it's a help on the pitch?
Yeah, I really do. I think for me, just knowing that, I was thinking about it the other day actually. Sometimes, especially in the football environment, we can define ourselves by our performance, and we can identify who we are with what other people are saying, if we've had a good game, if we've had a bad game. But our identity is rooted in Christ. Our purpose is rooted in him. It's not rooted in what we do. It's not rooted in our job. And I think I said it to myself that I'm significant when I go on this pitch, and I will be have the same significance in Christ's eyes when I come off the pitch. I'm going to be loved the same when I go on the pitch. I'm going to be loved the same if I make a mistake, if I miss a penalty. So there's a freedom and a liberty to not so much tie all that Tobi Sho-Silva is to this performance or this game, but to tie it to Christ, who's never going to change. Because you're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games, you're going to have some good games, you're going to have some bad games. But ultimately, you're secure in him. And I think that gives another level of freedom and another level of joy and another level of love and appreciation for your relationship with Jesus. And of recent time, I've been part of a football community as well. All right. Which has been good.
What's that look like?
So me and a couple of boys just came together and we said there's quite a few Christian footballers that are out there, but we don't really have a collective. We don't have a collective to come together like a body. So we've gathered together and kind of started like a charity in football called F3. It's called Faith, Football and Fellowship. And the slogan that we stand by is transforming lives in and through football with the message of Jesus Christ. And we're just looking to share the gospel in football and be a light for Christ, and then also use football as a tool because it's such a good conversation starter and it's such a good gathering tool. So we've got different projects where we want to bring footballers together, where we want to go on mission trips and use football to share the gospel. We want to be able to pray and support boys. We want to be able to help them understand the gospel and who Jesus is in football, because we feel like we have the language of football. I always say football's a world of its own, and it's got different cultures and different rules that maybe if you don't play, you don't really understand. Maybe you don't understand the pressures, or you don't understand some of the different things that go on in football. So hopefully we can support boys and walk with them, giving them the understanding of the fact that Jesus is always there for them and loves them and desires a relationship with them. So that's really been a massive support for me to know that I can get other brothers who are in the faith, who I can journey with in football, but also in faith. It's really amazing
to have you back, to call you out, all that kind of stuff.
Right? Yeah.
All right, so that's F3.
F3, yeah.
I like that. Okay, so remember that, or look out for that if you're listening. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. That's really that's really encouraging to hear that that's going on out in the. So you watch Match of the Day, and it looks. I mean, I love Match of the Day. It's awesome, but it looks so loaded with money and so about money and success and everything. And it's great to know that God's work is happening in and amongst all that, reaching out to people. That's really inspiring. Thanks a lot, Tobi, for sharing that. Okay, I got a couple more questions left. Yeah. Really interested to hear what you're going to answer, how you're going to answer these. So you've heard about the bubble thing. Yeah. So everyone's allowed to have somebody into their bubble. So you can have anybody in the whole world, okay?
Yeah.
That's alive currently, and there's nothing they can do about it. If you want them, even if it's Shakira, she can be. If it's Beyonce, if you declare it in this moment, then they can be in your bubble. So who would you have in your bubble, living with the Sho-Silva family
Just one person.
One person you're allowed. Yeah.
It's got to be for me Thierry Henry.
Yes, that would be
Thierry Henry.
Is he the hero then?
Yeah, for me he is the reason why I probably started playing football and I love the game so much. Just the way that he just carries himself and the way he just plays. I'd love to just hear some of his stories and just sit with him, to be honest. Just sit with him and
have him round the Sho-Silva table for
have a cup of tea. Yeah, have a cup of tea
and a chat with Thierry Henry. That's a good chat. I maybe should have seen that one coming. I didn't see that one coming. But yeah, so Thierry Henry's round for tea. Right, and you've got a Zoom call. So I'm guessing you'll have had to do Zoom calls with Halifax Town, that kind of thing. You've got three other, so this is a Zoom call with 4 people on it. You're one of the people, but there are 3 other people, and these 3 other people are characters from the Bible. All right, so you've got the chance to sort of time travel, as it were, go back and have a Zoom call with 3 of the Bible characters. Who would you have, and what would you chat about?
Cool. I've actually maybe got 5, but I feel like that. I know. Sorry, I'll explain why though.
Well, let's hear the 5, and then I'll kick 2 out. All right.
Okay. Cool.
We're going to be tight like that.
So Joseph. Okay. David.
Yeah.
And Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. That's why I've got 5.
No, I think
I can't pick one of them.
You can't exclude Shadrach and Abednego. That would be a bit rough to have.
Yeah,
because they'd be like, "Why have you left me out?"
And I've got no basis to favorite pick one of them.
So let me hear why you want Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and then I'll tell you whether you should have King David in and Joseph in as well, or go on. So why would you have Shadrach, Meshach?
Their story for me in the Bible of their faith in Daniel, where they're in a fiery furnace and they said, if we live or if we die, we're still going to serve God. I think it's just a testament of a heart that is for the Lord. They just said, it doesn't matter. I'm with him. You can take my life. I'm still with him. And that just shows a value of who God is above themselves even. And I just think that's just such a beautiful faith. And I'd love to just sit with them and see how they got to that revelation and how they live in that revelation, even in the midst of being in a fiery furnace. Yeah.
So I think that's your Zoom call right there.
That's my Zoom call.
I didn't.
I know, but they're only going to give me one side. I need more.
Yeah, but you're all right. Yeah, no, I think you've got to pick. I think you're there. You've either got to have Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or you've got to have David, Joseph, and then you've got to leave 2 other guys in the furnace.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'd leave 2 of the guys in the furnace just so I can have a bit more of a discussion.
David. Yeah, and Joseph. All right, okay, that would be a cool chat. Awesome thoughts on Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, though. That was I'm trying to think the last time that I dwelt on that story. That was nice to have that come back into my head. All right, so we've been in lockdown for 3 months, something like that. I'm guessing you've had to down tools and all the rest of it, and keep yourself fit. Is there anything in that time that you've learned? Is there anything you're going to say, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that again? I've learned conversely, or that's been a really good thing to do. I'm going to try and keep that up. What's been the wisdom in the Sho-Silva house?
There's been a few wisdoms that I feel like I've learned. I think the biggest one for me is rest. I feel like life can be so busy, but in lockdown, you can't do the things that you normally do. And you're kind of forced to rest. You're kind of forced to slow down and really think and reflect. And I think that's a healthy way. Even God rested, and I think He speaks about the Sabbath in the Word. So, speaking to one of my friends, and he was talking about take a Sabbath day every week, and I was like, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to just trying to rest and relax because I'm ambitious. I feel like every minute, let's get something going. But I feel like if you're going to be on full charge for 6 days of the week, give it all your 6 days, and then one day you can recharge, you can reflect and really spend time with the Lord. And I think it really prioritizes, it focuses everything around the Lord again, and gives you that time to recharge, because we all got things to do. We can all plan every single minute of every day and kind of forget about some of the things that are important. And personal health is up there as well, because you can't just keep charging on. So first one for me is rest.
And if God says rest, then it's got to be a good idea, right?
If
he commands it.
It literally has to be. So
that's cool. Okay,
that's the first one. The second one for me is there's a phrase that I like to talk about, which is coring it, which is about getting back to the core of what's important. I think in lockdown, we can make so many things that are really, really important, but we can't do them anymore, or we're unable to show them. So we're like, what's actually important here? Because we don't have all of these things to add on to. So it's like getting back to the core of it and stripping everything away and saying, what's actually at the heart of all of this? And for me, it was about Jesus, and it was about the gospel and the gospel being shared. It's about love and loving one another, whatever that looks like. And I think really just living with a mindset of whatever's going on, what's the core of this matter? Because that's important. It could look nice or it could sound nice, but is the core of what's being met? And
I'm guessing as well with lockdown is you don't always get to the core of it in the busyness of life, do you? So it's good to have that time out where you go, hang on, what is really important? I really like that phrase, Toby, the core of it. So you've gotten back to that a little bit. Yeah.
So if you're going to quote it anywhere, just make sure you quote me in it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not. I've done that before where I've tried to say, I'm old enough to have 3 kids and they hang me out to dry. If I say anything that's too young for me, it might be okay. People won't know how old I am just listening in perhaps, but when you see me in the flesh, people are like, you shouldn't be saying that. You should be wearing that tracksuit. I get called out plenty, so don't worry. I'm not going to go down that trap, the core of it. But I like it. I'll store it away in the back here, in the back of my mind.
No, I love it. And
cheers, Bob.
Yeah, just the last one, just from rest and coring it, is just being content where you are, and really enjoying it. There was a phrase that I heard was enjoy where you are on the way to where you're going. And I think sometimes we miss the now because we're so focused on the future. And I felt like lockdown has kind of stripped away some of the plans that we all had for 2020 and all the things that we wanted to achieve in the months in March and April and in May. You're thinking, I've planned all of this from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And you're looking forward to all of these things, and just one thing's just knocked all of that to one side. And you're just like, I can't waste my time here. I need to enjoy this. And whatever it looks like, I can't go and bring other things in or wait for the future to start enjoying myself. I need to enjoy it now. And it's not living frivolously and just going and do what you want, but really just saying, this is what I've got today. Let me enjoy today, because this is all that's really promised, and enjoying God right here, right now, and trying to live in that mindset. So
it's not holding out for if you're always just holding out for what you don't already have as well, you're missing out.
Yeah,
I guess at the same time
you're missing out. So yeah, they're the 3 things that I learned: rest, coring it, and contentment and enjoyment right here, right now.
I like that. So last question: how's faith? You've reflected little bits about this already, but how's faith played a part in you getting through lockdown? Is there anything else?
I think for me, it's kept me going. I constantly feel sometimes like, why am I doing some of the things that I do? Especially when it's tough, especially when you feel like you just want to stop doing certain things. But faith for me has made me see the bigger picture of things, as opposed to just the here and now, and saying it's not about me. It's about Jesus, about God, and it's about others knowing Him. And I think that's given me that constant why. My faith gives me my constant why and my constant purpose to keep enduring, to keep trusting, to keep knowing that He's in control, and that things always turn out for our good and for His glory. And I think that's what's probably kept me going in lockdown, especially in the times where you've got to train and you just want to sit down and eat pizza and watch TV shows. And you're just like, am I doing it for football? Is that enough of a driver for me? Sometimes it's not, but when you're doing it, like we spoke about, for the audience of one, it's not for everyone else. It's not for the show. It's like you're working unto the Lord. And I think it's Colossians 3:23 that speaks about whatever you do, do it as you're doing it unto the Lord. So it's those times where you're like, this is really frustrating, or someone's really annoying me, but what's the response that you need to have? It's still one of love, even in these tough times, and really just hoping in him. So that's where I feel like my faith really played into to say, what's the driver? What's the why? Even in tough and dark situations, like things going on in lockdown, when you're uncertain about the future, you know that he holds your future in his hands, and he's in control. And we serve a God that doesn't slumber or sleep. He knows every tear that you might cry, or he knows every step that you make. So we can really, really just trust in him, regardless of what it looks like on the outside. He's right in the center of it. So that's really what's kept me going in lockdown.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Tobi. Thanks for sharing. If you're listening, I hope that's been helpful. Don't forget coronet. You can go and watch Tobi play football, get up to Halifax Town and think of a song for him, go and see him score, or heckle him, or whatever you want to do, or stand outside Bridge Street Community Church and get his autograph. You've been listening to Locked In with Tobi Sho-Silva. Thanks very much, and listen again next time.